Welcome back to today's broadcast. Let's look into what is happening right now between the US and Nigeria, because as it is, Nigerian government, Tinubu, he has now gotten himself into a very hot seat. Department of State, they have now come out to expose him. As in, don't skip any part of the video. Make sure you watch it to the end, because this our activist is going to explain a lot of things concerning what that is going on between Tinubu and Donald Trump right now, and then the issue of corruption that that is going on right now, because already they know that Tinubu is a very, very corrupt president. They know that, but the problem that used to be is that whenever it comes what is right for them to do, they will just do as if they don't know what is happening. But all of them knows that the president we have, the person that is in power, is so corrupt to the extent that the fact is corrupt in everything he did. So according to Helen, it says Tinubu diplomatic crisis deepening after US states exposes fraud and corruption. Is problem deepening after US exposes fraud and corruption in his government. So there have been a lot of fraud and corruption and a lot of things that is going on in his problem, starting from day one when he gets to power till now. Every day we have been hearing a lot of things. In fact, don't skip, just watch it by yourself so that you will understand everything that is happening. As you're about to watch, like, subscribe and share for everyone to see things going on in the country.
Hello great people, I have a shocking breaking news for you. The United States government have just accused the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu of monumental corruption, lack of transparency, mismanagement and lack of accountability in the management of Nigeria's finances. On this episode of Politics with Joshua Plug, I will be taking you through the recently released report of the US Department of State. What did the US Department of State, what did they talk say Bola Ahmed Tinubu do? How Tinubu they manage Nigeria money? What are the activities of the Tinubu boys? I will expose everything to you on this episode of Politics with Joshua Plug. Dr. Omosoladeji will be doing three things very quickly. The first one is that I will be telling you what the United States government is accusing the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu for: the procurement of contract, the revenue that is being generated, and every other thing that has to do with Nigeria's finances. Then after that, I will be revealing to you the quote, some of the quote from the US Department of State report. Then the third thing that we'll be doing is to be dissecting the associated issues as regards what we can call a US audit of Nigeria's finances. What gave United States that kind of effrontery? Where did the United States derive this subtle power from? I will be exposing it to you, dissecting all what needs to be dissected on this episode. My dear people, let me take you through the report of the US Department of State. But if you are watching me right now and you are yet to subscribe to this channel, do what to subscribe, smash that notification button so that I'm bringing all these important updates and analysis your way. It will be getting to you in real time. The United States government is accusing the Tinubu government of what they call lack of fiscal transparency. Fiscal means anything that has to do with monetary, cash, finance. Use any synonym word that you like. They are saying that the Tinubu government since 2003 have not been transparent with how they are managing the money of Nigerians. Take note that this is the money of Nigerians, not Bola Ahmed Tinubu's money. Now the US Department of State in their audit report is saying that there's no transparency at all in the way you are managing the money of the country. Why is there no transparency? Are you not supposed to be transparent to let people know how much that you made and to let people know how much that you spend? Because you are holding the office in public trust. It is not your office. It is the office of every Nigerian citizen that have put you there through election, or you have impose yourself on them to just make sure that you manage their resources for them, including their financial resources. So the major thing is that they are accusing the Tinubu government of fiscal transparency. Now let us break it down further. What kind of fiscal transparency? That will be the next point of call. The kind of fiscal transparency that the Tinubu government is lacking, according to the US Department of State report, is gaps in Nigeria budget disclosure. The United States Department of State is saying that there is gaps in what you are disclosing in your budget, that your budget is opaque. You are not disclosing the right figures. You are not disclosing the right thing in the Nigerian budget. Another thing they are accusing the Tinubu government of is expenditure reporting, which is the money that you spend. If you are saying that you have spent 5 billion naira, that you have spent 5 trillion naira, the big question is, how did you spend that particular money? What do you take that money do? What is the purpose that you use that particular money for? So the United States government says that after reviewing Nigeria's fiscal issues, that the Tinubu government lacks what they call expenditure reporting, that they just spend money the way they like, but they are not reporting how much was spent. For instance, the International Conference Center that yes on weekend renovated, I think for 59 billion naira or something like that, and Nigerians are saying that, oh, this particular expenses is too much, it doesn't make any sense. Those kind of instances, you will just say you spent so amount of money. How did you spend it? Where did you spend it? Who did you spend it for? Who gets what as regards that particular expenses? The US is also complaining of public procurement transparency. You talk, say you buy laptop, right? In government offices, how much you buy that laptop? What is the real cost of that particular laptop? Why are you inflating figures? You talk, say you buy car for people in government. How much did you bought that car? How much are they truly selling it in the company that you bought it from? So public procurement transparency, the United States government is saying is lacking. Then another one is audit processes. Some of you don't know that if you spend money in government, there are also some agencies of government that will come and audit what you claim that you spent. But the United States is saying that, oh, in your audit processes, there's lack of transparency and accountability. But the United States government also praised the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They said that there is debt info, that the debt info of Nigeria, that is the debt information, how much Nigeria is owing people across the world, or countries or institutions across the world, how much Nigeria have collected, that this is publicly available, that the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu have provided adequate information in that particular regard. But then again, if you look at it, the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu may be forced to provide those information because they may think that, oh, that is where the United States government or the Bretton Woods institutions, the World Bank, the IMF would naturally want to focus their attention on. But then again, they don't know that the United States government will dive further to look into the books thoroughly. Why did the US have to look into Nigeria's book? Stick with me, I will tell you the reason in a moment. Now, the United States government said that the debt info is available, but government revenue and expenditure are largely unclear. What that means is that you collected debt, right? You have given the information of the debt that you collected, but what do you use that debt to do? What have you used that debt that you've incurred in the name of the Nigerian people, in the name of the unborn generation? What have you used it to do? You will recall that Bola Ahmed Tinubu have collected loan more than the past civilian government in Nigeria. The loan that Olusegun Obasanjo, Yaradua, Goodluck Jonathan, Muhammadu Buhari, the loan that they collected when Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into office, just within a space of 3 years, he has surpassed the loan that each of these governments collected. So the United States government is saying this is largely you are collecting this loan, but what you are using it for is unclear. Now, let me give you some quote in that particular report, which is that the United States, it says, one of the quotes that I found very important says, I'm quoting from the report now, it says, the government made information, that is, the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and this quote will back up all what I've been saying. It says, the government made information on debt obligations, including major state-owned enterprise debt, publicly available. That means that the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not only make available the debt of the federal government, they also made available the debt of the state government, the debt of Lagos State, Kano State, Enugu State, Kaduna State, Sokoto State. They made everything available. But there is a but in that regard. But budget documents did not provide a substantially complete picture of the government revenues and expenditure. That means that the Nigerian budget, the budget that was superintended over by Godswill Akpabio-led Senate and Tajuddin Abbas-led House of Representatives, the United States Department of State is saying budget documents did not provide a substantially complete picture of the government's revenues and expenditure, or breakdown expenditures to support executive offices in the budget. That means that executive offices, agency of government, parastatals, ministries, their budget is not clear. What they are doing with their budget is also not clear. Should the United States be giving this kind of report when we have a Senate? That means that the United States is not even partially doing the work of the Nigerian Senate, because it is the Nigerian Senate that is supposed to oversight the running of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu government, the expenses, the revenues accrued, the expenditure. It is the job of the Nigerian Senate to look into it. But what do we have? The Nigerian Senate has not been doing that. What we have is a Senate that have been in bed with the executive. Now, let me give you another quote from that particular report of the U.S. Department of State. It says, actual revenues and expenditures did not reasonably correspond to those in the enacted budget. That means that the revenues and expenditure, the money that you made and the money that you spent, did not reflect, is not in tune, if I can put it like that, is not in tune with what was in the budget. For instance, they can budget 5 naira, but the Tinubu government may spend 4 naira. The Tinubu government may spend 7 naira or even 12 naira. Why 5 naira was budgeted? They can budget 5 naira and the Tinubu government will not release any money at all. That is the complaint of the United States. They also spoke about the public procurement contract. Public procurement contract in the sense that, what you are using the Nigerian money to do, what you they use our money to buy, how you they spend that particular money. Now let me now go into some analysis. I'll just give you about 2-3 major important points, which is that the big question on the mind of Nigerians is, why is the United States auditing Nigeria's finances? Nigeria is not an extension of the United States. Nigeria is a sovereign nation, so much as the United States is also a sovereign nation. So why is the United States auditing Nigeria's finances? But let me tell you the truth. The United States will audit your finances if you benefit from them. If there are things that you benefit from them in terms of aids, in terms of benefits, in terms of grants, in terms of loans, gone are the days that a country or an institution will give you money and they will go and sleep. No, since they have identified corruption in African countries, what are they doing now? If they give you any money, they either tell you how to spend that money, or after spending that money, you have to come and report back to them how you spent that money. Which is that if the United States or the World Bank, if they want to give you a particular amount of money, they will tell you that we notice that there are inadequate toilets in your country. Now take this money, build this toilet all across your country, just so that there will be a reduction in the spread of cholera. I just use that as an example. So that money given to you, they've already told you what you are supposed to use that money for. Then you can also ask for money that, you want to build pipe-borne water across your country. If they so decide to give you the money, after you have finished that particular project, you have to report back to them that the money you borrowed me, the money you loaned me, the money that I received from you as a grant, this is what I use it for. These are the evidence of the money that I collected from you. So long as you go to the United States seeking benefit from them one way or the other, definitely they will demand accountability. And the United States itself, they would audit you if you also borrow, not only from the United States. Now, if you borrow or you are benefiting from institutions that they have strong stakes in. What do I mean by that? For instance, if the United States have strong stakes in the World Bank, in IMF, or any other global institution like that, if the United States have strong stakes in the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, for instance, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have been tackling polio eradication. There's a project, polio eradication, in Nigeria and by extension Africa. So if you are benefiting from anything that is connected to the United States, whether institutions that they have strong stakes in or institutions that influential people in the United States are funding or have strong stakes in, definitely they would audit the benefit that you've received from them. Those loans that Tinubu will just write to go and borrow, that is not the end of it. They don't just release those loans anymore. They would audit what you use that particular money to do. But then the Nigerian government have been finding a way around it, which is that they will inflate. If they build a toilet for, like, let's say 2 million naira, they will say, oh, they built it for 20 million naira. That is the corruption that is being perpetuated. So if you look at it, you may want to ask yourself that what are the implications that, oh, the United States government now have now found that the Tinubu government is handling the Nigerian finances in a corrupt way. They found out that the Tinubu government have been handling the Nigerian finances in a non-transparent manner. The big question will be, what are the implications of that? Well, there will be no more aid, benefit, or loans, or should I say there will be a drastic reduction in the aid, benefit, and loans that will emanate from the United States, and not just the United States government. There are countries that rely on the United States report. Any other country that is an ally of the United States that you are benefiting from, they may reduce or totally stop the aid, the benefit, grant, or loans that they give to you. It will also affect foreign direct investment in Nigeria, which is that the people that want to come into Nigeria, foreign investors, they will first of all go and look at the audit report. What can we say about this government? And when they see that the Tinubu government has lack of transparency, lack of accountability, and there's corruption allegedly being perpetrated by principal officers of the government, those foreign direct investors will not bring their money into the country. So those are the implications of this kind of report, because there are a lot of institutions and country that relies on the judgment of the United States. If you watch this video to this level, I can tell you, let me applaud you, that you are one of the people that definitely cherish knowledge, because most Nigerians, if you are speaking something knowledgeable, they lose interest. What they are mostly interested in is watching movies. But if you watch it to this level, kudos to you, and I would encourage you to always listen to something informative and educating. It is not every time that you watch movies. Gone are the days that you can afford not to know what is happening around you or in your country. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with Joshua Blog, Dr. Omosoladeji. Subscribe. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.
Oh yes, it's a very big shame that the president we have all over, both right and left, right, center, there is no place you go that you will not be hearing him linked with a corrupt thing. Either money, either drug, and one thing or the other must link with him as a corrupt somebody, and that person is still leading as a country. He's still leading the country, they claim that is the challenge of Africa, and he's still leading the country that many people as a graduates, as a professor, are into. And there's such kind of a person, the people that is leading, they are not asking him question. It is the State Department of US that is asking him those questions, but the country, they are not asking him question. How are you doing with our money? What do you use our money for? And how do you spend it? Instead of it, they are there shouting, our mandate we stand. Our mandate we stand. It's very shameful. In fact, and at the end they were still claiming that Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. The man that is so corrupt, at the end is still claiming that he's sentencing Simon Ekpa, he's sentencing Mazam Kano, he's doing this, he's doing that, when he knows that he's not doing the right thing. Very, very shameful.
More, thank you so much for joining us. President Trump personally tapped you to lead the House investigation into the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. I know a lot of people a couple of months ago remember kind of hearing a lot about this, but maybe take us back. What was it like getting that direct call from the president?
Well, and Laura, thanks so much for having me on. It was just amazing. Actually, the way I found out is a lot of the way that we find out. It was in a True Social post where the president was redesignating, and that's kind of a key term here, redesignating Nigeria a country of particular concern. And so I've been reaching out to the White House about this, and I knew the president cared about this a lot. And as soon as he found out that Biden was the president who had taken Nigeria off the list of the countries of particular concern, he would understand. Because in the first term, President Trump had Nigeria on that list as a country of particular concern. And then Biden took Nigeria off because he said, no, this violence that's happening in Nigeria has more to do with climate change, hard to believe, and it's disputes over arable land that's driven by climate change. This isn't Christian persecution or Christian genocide, which I believe it is. And so President Trump redesignates the country and then asks me personally to go investigate. And so we put together a congressional delegation then to Nigeria to go investigate and provide a report to the White House. Myself and Mario Diaz-Balart, who's the chairman of our National Security Subcommittee on Appropriations, and we took others from the Appropriations Committee and actually went to Nigeria and investigated firsthand what that looked like. But I was just so thrilled. I've been praying on it for so long that the president would re-engage on this, and he did, and very forcefully. And so thanks be to God for that.
The northern region is in a state of quagmire. As I speak to you right now, the Sultan of Sokoto is also in trouble because his people are accusing him. They are saying, why is he supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu despite all that is happening in the north? Despite the fact that almost all their leader and their mouthpiece are behind the bar. People like Erofai Malami and co, they are in the den of EFCC, DSS with a touch of ICPC. How dare you supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? And this is the stage they are. And the tension in the northern part of Nigeria is somehow rising right now. It's not only Sultan that they have accused. Some of them has actually come out to accuse Uba Sani, the governor of Kaduna State, for supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He came out and said, yes, 2027 general election is done and dusted. Tinubu all the way. This is the statement from Sani Uba, that is the governor of Kaduna State. And some youth came out and lashed on him, saying that he doesn't know what he's doing and every other thing. But we don't actually know what to even believe. We don't even know how to actually, handle these northern leaders, or not both the youth and the leaders, because one came out yesterday and accused Lash Obi, saying Obi did not consult them, so therefore Obi can never become the president of Nigeria, of which I know he was talking from the angle of bigotry. He was, he's a bigot. The way he put his statement, the way he arranged his statement, and at the end of it all, he praised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while others are divided against each other. The North will be the region that will suffer most for all these shenanigans, for all these politics that they are playing, because for years, it seems to me that they have not learned anything. If you talk about presidents that have done so much for the North, is from the South. Both Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan, they've done their best for the North. But today, look at, even when Muhammadu Buhari was in power, what happened? I bet you that what did not actually enjoy during the reign of Jonathan and Obasanjo, even Muhammadu Buhari could not do it. He did not. The only thing that Muhammadu Buhari did was two major things. Number one, give appointment to the unqualified brothers. He gave appointment to his brothers that are not even qualified, that are not even merit it. And number two, he gave the Fulani leverage. He gave the Fulani the ground to, overrun Nigeria. These are the only two major achievements that Muhammadu Buhari do. He knows how to he doesn't know how to play politics, he doesn't even know how to fight, and he doesn't even know how to organize himself. Look at when he was trying to prevent President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to becoming the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What did he do? He went to change money. He went to change the colors of money. Have you heard that before? You know, when you allow the illiterate to be the leaders of a nation, what become of that nation is what you are seeing in Nigeria. The poor and the illiterate youth from the north came out yesterday and said Obi can never be the president of Nigeria. Supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not even an issue here. But why stating it as if you are the God of all? That Obi did not come and meet you at home and tell you that I inform you that he want to become the president of Nigeria. That he want to contest for 2027 election. You see where the angle where these people are coming from. The thing that I'm happy about is the way and manner at which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is handling the northern leaders, who apparently feel that the leadership of Nigeria belongs to them, that they are born to rule, they are born to lead, and they are born to be on top. But today, their wings have been broken. They are as confused as confusion. As I speak to you right now, there is confusion in North. They don't know where they belong. Look at Atiku Abubakar. They are practically confused, the Northerners. This is why you see somebody like Atiku is coming out to contest for presidential election come 2027, where you know that naturally that this power is not supposed to go back by 2027 to the North. After the 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari, of doing nothing in Nigeria, because the more regrettable thing that Nigeria will have in history is having President Bola Ahmed, Muhammadu Buhari to rule for 8 years. 8 years of bringing Nigeria backward. And the same trend continue with this same man, Tinubu. But that is not the topic of today. And today, he came out to apologize or to discredit that statement of saying that he support, that the Sultan of Sokoto support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let me read it to you. Sultan media team, in a statement, says that they describe the claim as false, insisting that the Sultan of Sokoto, as a father figure to all Nigerians, could not make such a partisan political statement either publicly or privately. The media team urged Nigeria to actually disregard and condemn what it is described as a malicious attempt to drag Sultan into partisan politics. Our simple response to the report is that it is not possible for Sultan, as the father of all, to make such statement either publicly or in any other form or any other forum. It further stated, let it be made clear once again that the institution of monarchy and religion led by the Sultan are institutions of a father figure. As such, His Eminence cannot but remain within the preview of that role by offering fatherly, royal, and spiritual blessings as well as guidance to Nigeria politicians who seek his counsel and blessings. The Sultan doors cannot be shut against anyone who comes to him, regardless of the political affiliation of
Tinubu, the truth about the economy and security situation, whether he accepts it or not. Meanwhile, we suffering the most, our leaders are promoting Tinubu, that they are the ones suffering, but their leaders are busy promoting Tinubu. Now, talking about the Fulani leaders in northern Nigeria, the governor of Kaduna State came to Tinubu and said 2027 is concluded. This is the governor of Kaduna, where they recently buried 30 people who were unalived, children, young children, women were, victims of that attack. Just recently, they were buried, and Obasani visited Tinubu. See what he said. 2027 already concluded. Governor Obasani vows to give President Bola Tinubu 95% of Kaduna votes. Now, talking about the worsening insecurity situation in northern Nigeria, recently, A judge was kidnapped by these terrorists. Now they finally released him. See the condition that led to his release. Bandits collected 50 million naira, malt, drinks, fruit juice before releasing kidnapped Kebbi High Court judge. Relatives are the one that revealed this, that the terrorists collected 50 million. They didn't stop at that. They needed malt, maybe Maltina, Malta Guinness. And then they also requested for fruit juice before they released the High Court judge from Kebbi State. Guys, under all these conditions, the Sultan of Sokoto is telling them, vote for Tinubu. Yes, because they don't care about what a typical northerner is going through. But guess what? Some of these northerners they've made up their mind. I mean, they've made up their mind. See what this one here is. They say, God is enough. We have been cheated as Nigerians of Tinubu's likes. He can bring the leaders of Muslims and Bishop Koka in Nigeria to campaign for him, or even bring the chief imam in Saudi and the Pope to campaign for him. Nigerians will reject him. This also coming from this northerner here during this podcast. He said even if Tinubu goes and gather all the Muslim leaders, all the Christian leaders, whether they are from Saudi Arabia or from Rome, that Nigerians are going to reject him. You can see the audacity. This is the guy speaking during a podcast session. You know, the northerners have had it enough. And thank God, those of them that are enlightened, guys, they are now taking it. You look at the population of people supporting Kwankwaso in the north. These are majority young minds. I mean, they've had enough of a governor only investing in marriages, you know, gathering youths and forcing them to marry even when they don't have skills. That's the only thing that the state governor of Kano State does for his people, guys. And now you can see the northerners are saying they've had enough of this. Anyway, guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at this video.
Oh yes. Starting from the first day of Nigeria to this present day of Tinubu, the north has been the problem of this country. The north, they have been the problem of Nigeria. Anything that comes from other section of the country for the country to be good, the next thing they will tell you that you need to come to my own caliphate. You need to come to my caliphate and kneel down for us before we will accept you to become this or to become that. That is what they used to do. They have taken religion to everything. Religion, they believe that their religion is all and all, and with that their religion, Nigeria is like this. With that their religion, the country is bleeding every day. With that their same religion, no section is growing, everywhere is daft with that same religion. I don't know when those people will start understanding things, we start knowing there is something that is inside this their religion that they need to drop, because it is when what you are doing is benefiting, you are benefiting from it, then you will say, yes, let me continue from what I'm doing. But if you see that what you are doing is not benefiting to you, the next thing you will do is to drop that and to find something else that will be benefiting to you. But this your own, it is so daft, so archaic, and then very, very adamant people that no matter what they think of about their region is what they are going to do. That is all. Or be coming out to become a president or not to become a president, it is even for their own benefits. It is even for their own benefits. That is what is it. But at the end, they prefer a Muslim ticket, just like what their leader was campaigning this week, that there must be a Muslim ticket no matter what. Even though if the Christian let them perish, it doesn't concern them. Anybody who wants it should go to hell. If you don't want it, you should go to hell. Muslim ticket must be. And they are very bold and to say it that Nigeria is an Islamic nation. And at the end, somebody will now come up and tell you that one Nigeria is what we need. The best solution to this country is division. Allow those to go and allow them not to go. Then those who want to be on their own should be, and those who don't want to be should do what? Depart and be on their self and create their own states and their own country, because the way everything is happening in this country is not suitable. It is not. Every day we are hearing every different type of story every day by day. In fact, it is too much. I would like to your comment down below, like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you share it for everyone to see things going on in the country. So thank you for watching.